Welcome back to Amateurs, and today we're going to get funky. Today we got an offering from Russian River Brewing. This is Funky Foeder Cherry Beer. This was bottled on July 11th, 2022. They don't have a little blurb here about this. I think this is a newer beer from them. This is 7% alcohol. I have never had this beer. You've never had this beer. I'm excited, but tempering my expectations.
Why?
Because cherry in a beer is, to me, really hard to get. There's very few beers that I've had that do cherry right, or that I can taste the cherry in.
I agree with that. I think cherry and strawberry are really hard. But if I'm not mistaken, Foeder is like a
big oak, like silo almost, where they age beer in.
But a Foeder like beer style is usually sour?
Yes, usually they are sour. And it doesn't say sour on there, so I'm tempering my expectations there as well. Maybe a bit of tartness from the, some tart cherries or something in there.
I'm excited about this because, like you, I've never had a really good cherry sour or cherry beer at all. I've
had a really good one. I do have a favorite one. I have shared it with you once before.
Yeah, when I was saying that, I'm like, okay, wait, I've had a good one.
We gotta review that one.
But it's hard, like you said, it's hard to come by a good cherry or strawberry beer, and I'm excited for this because, listen, we just had 2 beers by Russian River. Did I like them necessarily?
You gave Blind Pig a 4.
They were both lagers, so...
No, it was an IPA.
Oh, yeah,
Velvet Glow was
a
Hell's Lager.
But they're good. They're a good little brewery. So I'm hoping that this will be a good sour, or at least a tart.
Yes, the label pops out. It's red. It's pretty plain, like a lot of their labels are.
Yeah.
And that's enough talking. Let's get to drinking. All right, let's open up this. All right, there's your cap. What color do you think it's going to be?
It is going to be a red. It's going to be red. Oh. That's the color. That's the color.
That's the color. Yep. So think of the same thing.
Oh my gosh.
It smells funky. I can smell it from here already, just pouring it.
This smells like it's going to be...
You hear that?
Tart. It smells like it's going to be...
Ooh, wow.
cherry-ish. Do you remember that one beer that we had that smelled like so much like cherry and it was water?
That's why I'm always hesitant. You get so much of the oak Foeder in this. A lot of oak on the nose. And then you get a little bit of that funkiness. I'm used to getting this from a lot of other different sours that I've had.
Yeah, this reminds me of like, what do they call them? A farmhouse.
I see what you mean. You get a little bit of that funkiness there. It's less of that hay smell and more of just that oak. I've had a lot of. It reminds me of like a DeGard or a Black Project. I haven't had them in a long time. Yeah, something like that. I'm excited to taste this beer.
Alright, let's do it then. Hold on, please. Okay. I think the first time I sipped it, I just swallowed real quick.
A little tartness.
Yeah, you gotta let it sit in your mouth a little bit.
A little tartness. Dry. Yeah. Dry as the mouth. The oak, to me, overpowers almost everything here. There's a little bit of funkiness. It is very vinous. I can't say that I get a lot of cherry here.
Can you tell me what that word means?
Like wine.
Oh, okay, I get it.
Or like grapes, or you know.
Should have used context clues.
I'm not getting a lot of cherry from this beer. Are you pulling any cherry from this? I'm not really finding that here.
I think this is a beer that you have to leave in your mouth for a little bit. And I think at the very, very beginning, I get a little bit of cherry, and then I see what you're talking about with an oak barrel. I've never really had. I've always, had beers that are aged in oak barrels and aged and stuff like that, and you're supposed to taste it. And I think this is the first time that I'm really understanding what that taste is, because there's the cherry taste and there's something else, and that must be an oak barrel.
Yeah, like you said, there's just the tiniest bit of cherry in the beginning. But it's not enough for me. I want more, especially when you, on the label, put cherry beer in big letters. I want way more cherry than this. I think they did a great job here with the oak flavor, the Foeder aging. It's tasty, don't get me wrong, but it's just not the cherry beer that I hoped for.
I think that they could have promised another fruit or another flavor, and it still would have held up to the same, because yes, I get kind of like some kind of flavoring at the beginning. If you didn't tell me it was cherry,
You'd never guess it was cherry.
I would have no idea, because it's like this. It's there for a second, and then it's gone. It could be raspberry, it could be strawberry, it could be probably not blueberry, but it could be some other red fruit,
Yeah, red apple.
Yeah, it could be anything like that. But I like it. It's just, is it living up to the expectations of a cherry beer?
Well, that's the last of the bottle right there, folks. It's good. We're sipping on it. It's just expected more. This is why I was apprehensive right here. It's just that cherry is so hard to do.
Yeah, I agree. What can you do though? I understand wanting to tackle cherry and wanting to tackle strawberry because there's such big flavors, especially in the candy world.
Those are two I'm always keeping an eye out for in beer.
Try it, but if you don't do it right, don't release it then.
Well,
what can you do? Of course you're gonna have to release it. You gotta make money, but call it something else then. Because like I said, this could be any other red fruit flavor.
I would like to see them do this, but with peaches or apricots or nectarines or something like that. Those usually lend themselves really well to the Foeder aging.
Well, even raspberry. Raspberry is a strong
Raspberry.
flavor.
Maybe they just didn't add enough cherry. And I don't know how much cherry they added to this, but it's just, I feel like a lot of the good cherry sours that I've had have macerated cherries that are a lot of them. And I feel like for whatever reason, cherry is one of those fruits where you need to have a lot of it in there. But all that being said, Mary, what would you rate this beer out of 5?
Yeah, it's tasty. Didn't live up to the cherry. I'm gonna give it 3.5.
3.5? That's fair. That's probably what I'm going to give it to, a 3.5. We finished the bottle. We're not hating it. It's just, you wanted more cherry. This is just the subtlest of cherries. Great oak flavor. A nice tartness to it. Not necessarily a beer that I would have again, but glad to have tried it.
I agree with everything that you just said.
Well, that's going to do it for today's beer review, then. Like, share, subscribe. If you got anything from Russian River you want us to try, let us know down in the comments below. I do have all of their sour offerings, their porter offering cellared away, and I want to do a blind taste test with them. So that is something I still got to work out. But until next time, we're the Rumorateurs, trying every beer from around the world. One sip at a time.